Simon Ekpa has declared that the Biafra movement shall not be intimidated. Simon Ekpa, who is currently the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic government in exile, have stated that the struggle for Biafra independence can never be intimidated by any external force. He argues that the Nigerian government have been labeling Biafra groups as terrorists and that this claim is inaccurate and compares the struggle to other global independence movements. Simon Ekpa, alongside with Dr. Allen, an international human rights expert, both discussed efforts to bring attention to alleged human rights abuses against the indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB). They mentioned submitting evidence to the International Criminal Court (ICC) for an investigation into alleged systematic killings by Nigerian forces, calling it genocide. Dr. Allen explained their engagement with international bodies, including the ICC and the UN, aiming to secure international awareness and support for Biafra's case. Simon Ekpa, during the broadcast, emphasizes that Biafra's advocate must not be intimidated. He insisted on a referendum and urged Biafrans to vote for an independence which will be declared on the 2nd of December 2024. Simon Ekpa draws parallel between Biafra's past wars, stating that they are fighting to complete the independence efforts that previous generation began, regardless of Nigeria labeling them terrorists. Simon Ekpa stated that they are going to finish the dream of their ancestor and they don't care if the Nigerian government label them as terrorists, because in real sense it is the Nigerian government and the Nigerian army that are the real terrorists. Simon Ekpa also criticizes global powers for treating similar independence struggles differently, referencing South Sudan, Cameroon, and Afghanistan, while claiming that Biafra faces a uniquely harsh response. He also demands that the Nigerian government remove military forces from Anambra State, stating that democracy cannot function under militarization. According to him, the federal government of Nigeria have sent the military to the southeastern region. The reason why the federal government is sending the military to the southeastern region is to kill and destroy them, because they are wise now, because they know that the government is not for them, and that is why they want to live and form their own country. And for the fact that they want to live, the Nigerian government decided to send the military down to the east. If you go to different checkpoints, you see so many Nigerian army military extorting money from innocent Igbo men and women. Simon Ekpa further conclude by stating that they have filed complaints with the International Criminal Court (ICC) and other international bodies, accusing the Nigerian government of genocide and seeking global support for Biafra independence. According to him, Biafra has come to stay and no form of intimidation can stop the struggle. According to him, the Biafrans are determined and they are going to achieve the Biafra independence whether the enemies like it or not. Without wasting much of your time, I'm going to play the audio for you guys to hear and see for yourself.
Decided already on their own that they are going to send a very strong signal to the international community. The signal to the international community is that it is referendum or no election. Let me tell you, we can't be afraid. We can't be afraid at the same time looking for the freedom and the self-determination and emancipation of our people from Janjaweed people in Nigeria. We cannot, out of fear, be agitating for freedom of our people. We must be very brave. We must be ready to take anything that comes on our way. We must be ready to liberate and fight to the end. Not going to mind whatever the Nigerian is liable for the fact that the world understand what we are fighting for. Biafra issue is in global history. Biafra is issue that is globally recognized. We fought a war for 3 years with Nigeria. Millions of people died. Today, the children of those people, they're subjugated to all manner of degrading treatment and abuse. We are here today to finish what our grandfathers started. We are here today because when Nigeria war was declared, no victor, no vanquish, was warned by Daniel Effiong. If you do not do them very well, they will rise up again against you. That is exactly what we are doing now. It does not matter whether the Nigerian government is labeling themselves terrorists. The world know that we are not terrorists. The world know we are fighting a just cause. And we are going to do everything to make sure we get our freedom. As I'm talking to you, war going in Cameroon against Amazonians. As I'm talking, is between South Sudan and Sudan, they fought a war for 30 good years. They were not regarded as terrorists. Even the people that were regarded as terrorists in Afghanistan, we see that America is giving them today to be recognized as a government. The condition is only for them to denounce Al-Qaeda. After decades, many years of wastage, American soldiers killed, billions of dollars wasted, American weapons and everything in the hand of Taliban. Upon the fact that Taliban and Afghanistan is ranked #1 terrorist country according to World Terrorism, Global Terrorism Index. But it is completely a different thing when it comes to Biafra. When it comes to Biafra, we are being ruled by terrorist government. We are being ruled by some few people from ethnic group that are nomadic and very heartless people. And we say we are incompatible. We don't have the same cultural value system. And we say we are going to opt out of Nigeria. And for that reason, they proscribe us. Now we have been able to create awareness, global awareness, under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the highest awareness in history of mankind, especially in freedom and agitation for self-determination. Biafra agitation have that scattered all over the world. We are scattered all over the world. the struggle. We will continue the struggle. We will not be moved, we will not be threatened, we will not be intimidated by any threat coming from anywhere. So when you are in this struggle, the only thing you have to focus is getting Biafra. Do not be afraid of that you are being called a terrorist. You are not a terrorist. You are not a terrorist. And the world knows that. The world knows that. If we go into civil war today against Nigeria state, which probably may happen, if we go into civil war against Nigeria state for Biafra, who is going to call each other terrorists? Is it you? Are you going to be the one that will call terrorists or the Nigerian government? So, welcome to this program. Make sure you invite people and let us welcome. Now we are going to start what we have come to do this evening. We read in the news that the United States is giving a statement about Anambra election. They want to see free and fair election in Anambra. How can you have free and fair election in Nigeria where you have over 34,000 policemen being deployed to kill our people? How are you going to have free and fair election in Anambra? Before we can talk about having free and fair election in Anambra, since we are going political solution, first of all, Anambra state must be demilitarized. All the military and security people in Anambra state must leave. You can't militarize a state and you want to have democracy take place. Two of them can never work together. So when you want to conduct election, if we're going to have a democratic or political solution, make sure that there is nothing in this life that will make election tomorrow to take place, because we need to postpone the election so that the leadership will go back to drawing board. The demand will be very clear. You cannot have a free and fair election when you have police and army everywhere. Considering the record of the Nigeria police and the security agents, very, very bad record. You can never have free and fair election. So, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be released. After that, after the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whatever he say is final. Whatever he say about Anambra election is final. So we demand also the release of all the people that have been abducted and kidnapped by the Nigeria DSS. They are today languishing in prison and incarcerated. We are going to ask our guests to come in, so we'll continue, because after him we are going to have the normal exposition today. Make sure you hit the like button as you are coming, Those of you watching from YouTube, as you are coming, you are hitting the like button so that other people will understand that we are live and it will appear on their feed. Those who are using YouTube, who are watching from YouTube. Wait for Dr. Allen to join us. And on this note, let us go on commercial. Welcome back. Dr. Allen, good afternoon from here.
Good afternoon, Simon. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. This is the second time you are coming to the program. Welcome you again. I know that you have been here before, and a lot of people may have seen you, a lot of people may have read about you. If you could tell us just a little bit brief about yourself for those who have never seen you before.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, I'm a partner of the BW Global Group based in Washington, D.C., and we specialize in human rights issues, crimes against humanity, some government relations, and anti-corruption work worldwide. I have over 40 years of criminal investigative law enforcement experience, principally involved in international activities. My last assignment before I retired from the U.S. government, I was on loan to the United Nations-backed Special Court for Sierra Leone, where I was the chief of investigations, where I lived and worked in Freetown, West Africa, where I was responsible for directing all the criminal investigations, war crimes investigations of those people that bear the greatest responsibility for the civil war in Sierra Leone. Interestingly enough, it took us directly to the former president of Liberia, who created the Revolutionary United Front, who was subsequently indicted and convicted for war crimes. At the time, he was the first sitting head of state ever indicted for war crimes. And again, he was subsequently convicted, sentenced to 50 years, and his son was also arrested and convicted for torture related to one of our witnesses and witnesses of the Special Court for Sierra Leone, not directly but indirectly related, and he received a 97-year sentence in the United States. So have vast experience in seeking justice and accountability in the international rule of law arena. So that's the experience I bring to the particular project that we have, that we're honored to work on behalf of the IPOB, and that was to seek justice and accountability and also engage in a human rights campaign, not only in Washington, D.C., but globally. So that's what we're actively involved in and have been doing since March of this year, when the leader reached out to us and signed an agreement with us, and we've been engaged ever since.
Thank you very much for that in-depth brief. I wouldn't want to go into the Liberia thing and all that, because a lot of people already have heard about how you handled it, and history is about to repeat itself. Now, we have been seeing recently, news on different platform about your organization filing some kind of document to the ICC, International Criminal Court. So could you tell us, what is going on? Is there an update from the September filing?
Absolutely. We've, as you know, there's a lot of things that we're doing that are confidential. But what I can share with you was that we have collected evidence and information where we prepared our very first criminal referral to the Office of the Prosecutor at the International Criminal Court on 15 September of this year. And that was a confidential but a very comprehensive compilation of evidence we submitted to them that they received, acknowledged receipt, and are actively examining that information. And we'd also requested that if they had not opened up an investigation yet, to add this to the preliminary examination. However, we are actively seeking that they seek approval from the pretrial chamber to open an investigation specifically into the wide-scale and systematic killing of the civilian population, and most notably targeting the indigenous people of Biafra. Now, since that time frame, we have collected additional evidence, and we submitted a second referral containing criminal information and evidence to substantiate further ongoing and wide-scale systematic killing of the civilian population, and again, specifically targeting the IPOB. That was also acknowledged. It's being examined. And again, we are requesting that they formally open an investigation and look into what we are identifying as a genocide that's being committed by the Nigerian government and extremist Fulanis against the indigenous people of Biafra.
Thank you very much. You said it has been acknowledged, and you are waiting for the ICC to open investigation. So, I just want to, for just a clarification, is it that when the application is filed, they have to be after the acknowledgement, they have to now open the investigation for that particular case?
Well, what the process is that they have to seek formal approval from the pretrial chambers to do that. What we are doing is providing them ample evidence to justify that request to open an investigation. And most specifically, looking at the, again, wide-scale and systematic killing of the civilian population, which is a crime against humanity and, quite frankly, genocide that we believe is being committed against indigenous people of Biafra.
All right. So when this thing is filed, is it like something that anybody can ask and get information that, some kind of complaint or application has been lodged at the ICC? Is it something that anybody can ask question and you get some information or some kind of feedback from the ICC?
Well, we have gotten written responses, acknowledgement, as you typically do, and we've also gotten responses directly from the Office of the Prosecutor. And it is a process, and as you can imagine, we collected very sensitive information, and it's confidential. Certainly they have all the details, but it's not something that's publicly and readily available to the public for obvious reasons. We have confidential sources of information and evidence that needs to be protected, but the ICC is well aware of it, and they have that, and it's their obligation to examine and look at that, and we've done that under the protection of the ICC, so that sources and witnesses and methods and operations are not inadvertently disclosed or discovered, to protect the individuals that are involved.
Yeah. All right. So we, the last time you were here, and I have also been privileged to see the release from your group. There are some other organizations you have mentioned that that were communicated officially. So could you brief us about them, like for the Committee on Human Rights at the UN and all that, and then also you mentioned about the United Kingdom. Let us take it step by step. Brief us about the Committee on Human Rights at the UN. What do you intend to get from them?
Absolutely. This is a process, as you know. You have to educate people and make them aware of this.
You have heard from Simon Ekpa. You have heard everything he said. So this is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.